Are you okay? No way they're common thugs or hired muscle. The weapons, the training, the steel nerves. No, these guys were professionals. That badge with the #1, I feel like I've seen that before, but it was a long time ago. Really? Guess you've led a pretty exciting life. Maybe the less I know about that, the better. Let's search the area. Maybe we can find something that explains what these guys were up to. Hopefully, we can find something that explains who these guys were and why they were after the Waggoner farm. Likewise.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot. If I may. Ka-ching. Hope you find what you're looking for.
You handled yourself well. Find anything interesting? Let's see what we have here. Interesting. So, their ship was stolen from the Hope Tech factory. Whoever pulled that off must have been one hell of a shipjacker. Well, I guess someone really wants that farm bad. Speaking of which, let's get back there and let Miss Waggoner know that she's safe. For now.
Just goes to show you that sometimes the good guys come out ahead.
What's the news? What happened? Did you find those men? Well, it's good to see you're all right then. They must have been crazy or desperate, trying to take on the Freestar Rangers. So who were they? And why do they want my farm? Hope Tech? The cargo ship company? Sorry, I don't know anything about that. So I have no way of knowing if there aren't more coming. Guess I'll start sleeping with a gun nearby. I can't thank you enough. I'd hate to be remembered as the Waggoner who couldn't hold on to the farm that's been in the family for so long. Of course. All the same, I'm grateful.
If you have any more trouble, give us a call. We're in system, so it won't take long to get someone out here. All right, Deputy. Let's get back to the rock. We need to report this to the Marshal.
Good folk here. Hard workers.
Hey there. It's good to see you.
I'd help out in the fields myself if I thought my heart could take it. My family's been tending this land for generations. Yes, I did. I was born in this house, and I plan on dying in it. The farm hasn't changed a bit since I was a kid. That's the Freestar Collective for you. Michaela's my little girl, my pride and joy. I raised her right here in Montero Luna, where she was born. Makes me mighty happy to watch her work in the fields. She has her mama's knack for planting, rest her soul. Michaela runs the place. I haven't been much use around the farm since my heart started getting bad. She passed on years ago. If my damn ticker has anything to say about it, I'll be joining her in the next life soon enough. I was. Me and every other Waggoner for generations. The saying goes that the Waggoners have deep enough roots on Montero Luna to put our crops to shame. I don't know what I'd do without her. I'm too sick to work the fields anymore, and the damn farmhands couldn't run this place if their lives depended on it. Safe travels.
Keep your sidearm handy. Parts of town can get rough.
Your ship's not half bad.
Hey, your ship that landed not too long ago?
A lot of famous people visit Aquila. Popping back up here, never know who you'll meet, eh?
What's the story on Montero Luna?
That call we got from Waggoner Farm turned out to be a little more interesting than I was expecting. Some men were trying to run the Waggoners off their land. They tried to buy it first, but when that didn't work, they turned to threats. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence. None of them survived.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. That's a job well done. I agree. Until we see the whole picture, we won't know if Miss Waggoner is truly safe. What did you make of these men who were trying to take the farm? I had a feeling you were no stranger to combat. Good thing, too, given the turn of events.
Spent some time in uniform, huh? Respect.
Now, did you find anything that might give us a lead on why these men wanted the farm? Hope Tech ships ain't exactly cheap. That thief could probably tell us a lot about these men you ran into.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit badge was yellow on black with the number 1. They also said something about being forgotten. They seemed bitter about it. Resentful. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal? Any of that sound familiar?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while. But it was disbanded decades ago. After the Battle of Nera. What was left of it, anyway. The 1st Cavalry lost almost all their mechs and soldiers in a big push to take a United Colonies base. They were just about there when a ceasefire order came down. Both sides had just lost too much by then. It was a bloodbath. The commanding officer of the 1st disobeyed the order. He didn't want the lives of his soldiers to be sacrificed. For nothing. They court-martialed him, and the rest of the surviving officers, and locked them all up. The war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective? Worst conflict the settled systems has ever seen. Each side unleashed terrible weapons on the other. And countless people died. The armistice was signed 20 years ago. But a lot of folks still bear their scars. I suppose it ain't impossible, but it's real damn unlikely. The unit was pretty much wiped out, and the few that survived ended up in prison after a court-martial for disobeying orders. I don't recall how long the sentence was. Hell, it's our only lead. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Polvo. Nia Kalu's our ranger stationed out there. She can introduce you to Ron Hope, the president of Hope Tech. He might be able to help you find the thief. Just make sure you stay on his good side. He's on the Council of Governors, and they're the ones we answer to. Proud, stubborn, and smart. A self-made man. He built Hope Tech through blood, sweat, and sheer willpower. The ruling body that oversees the Freestar Collective and the Rangers. The council members are the political and corporate elite of the Freestar Collective, so we have to tread lightly when we're dealing with them. Good. The last thing I need is the council breathing down my neck. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Work with the other Rangers. Find out what you can about those men on Montera Luna. Meantime, I'll look into a possible connection with the 1st Cavalry. Good hunting.
Nicely done.
I've got some stuff on my mind. When you have the time. Sorry, I plain forgot what I wanted to talk with you about. That girl. If Cora leaves her tools out one more time... I mean, I love her more than life itself, but I can only say the same damn thing so many times. Oh, next time I see her, I'll paste on a smile and ask her ever so nicely to pick them up. Again. I mean, this is between me and you. But Cora wasn't exactly planned. I don't know if I mentioned, but I served a spell in the Freestar Rangers. Had a partner. Lillian Hartz. Well, we were like fire and ice, but, well, it wasn't all bad. Well, it wasn't by choice. It was a lousy fit. Maybe someday I'll get into it. I'm just happy I found Constellation. Best damn organization in the settled systems, you ask me. She's one of their top rangers, so they keep her in the field a lot. That's how she likes it. Understatement of the century. Hell, when Cora was born, I was completely out of my depth. For the first few months, I kept thinking, what a colossal mistake I made. Me, a father. But one late night, early morning, whatever, little Cora gave me my first smile. And I knew I'd do anything for that girl. Well, Mrs. Lillian Coe was right there with me. And as bad as I had it with nursing at all hours, I know I had it comparatively easy. But that don't mean those first few months were good by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, sure don't feel like it. And it's something you said to me about parents wanting children to learn from their mistakes. Now that Cora's getting older, that's what haunts me. I've done things I'm not proud of. I said things even worse. I try to be better for Cora, but is she gonna fall into the same traps? Well, it's bad enough. Let me put it that way. That's really reassuring. I do the best I can by her. I know it seems crazy, towing her across the stars, but I'm not exactly swimming with options here. Her mother... Like I said, another story, another time. And what, have her raised by Jacob, my dad? I'd sooner ship her off to Vladimir. No, not really. Lillian and me don't have any siblings. We'd have to start looking into really extended family for other relations. I wouldn't want to anyway. Looking after Cora, that's not something I want to pawn off on someone. You think? Well, she does say the damnedest things. And if she just learned to pick up after herself, she just might live until she's 13.
The mayor's all right. Always painting too rosy a picture, though.
Hiya. Right now, not much of anything. Doc says I need a rest. Meanwhile, I've been trying to make myself useful, reading dispatches and reports and such. That way, when I'm cleared for field duty, I'll know the lay of the land. Good to see you. Got into a tussle with a Shaw Gang smuggling ship in Kodos orbit. Had to limp back to Aquila City, with my ride mostly in one piece. It was a bit of a hard landing, you might say. Got a few broken ribs and a concussion. Turns out one of those ribs punctured a lung. Had a breathing tube in for a spell, but that's gone now. Seems I'm healing up pretty good. Yeah, of course. Everyone knows a thorologic tube is the right approach for that problem. That's it then?
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. She's probably right.
This here's the best bar in town.
I
Safest,
specialize
too.
in cryptography.
How can I help?
A lot of smugglers use coded slates, so it comes in handy.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestar Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help.
Approaching ship, you've entered Freestar Collective Space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband.